You driving?
Some Plan Bs are smarter than others. If you're drinking, don't drive. RBT means you need a Plan B. Authorised by New South Wales Government, Sydney.
How did you find out, and was it a nice little surprise?
It was a wonderful surprise. Yeah, I got the call from Rod Marsh yesterday morning. And it was difficult to contain my excitement. I was very chuffed to get the call.
Was it difficult not to tell people for a day?
Very, actually, yeah. I mean, it was actually very difficult to tell my mother. She was out in the garden. I tried to call her about 10 times before I actually got a hold of her. So, it was tough in that respect to keep it to myself. But my father and family were very pleased.
And did you think this sort of opportunity would come around again for you?
I mean, certainly not. I mean, it's one of those things. You need to be in good form at the right time, and it seems I've been lucky enough to do that. So, yeah, it's not something you're ever banking on or expecting.
Do you take heart from the fact that Brad Haddon is, kind of advanced in his career, his mid-30s, and you've got you're 6 years behind him or something like that? So, I mean, you could crack it yet.
Well, yeah, you never know. I mean, who knows what the future's going to hold, but it's fantastic to be selected on the West Indies and Ashes tours, and being a backup to Brad on those tours is going to be a wonderful experience.
You beat a pretty hot field. It's always debated every summer who the next Australian keeper is, and it is a select club, and you've come in and knocked them off again, as you have done in the past, so it must make you feel good.
Well, yeah, I suppose it's a good problem for Australian cricket, having a lot of good wicket keepers around the country who have been performing well, so it's a good problem for Australia.
What about our World Cup format, World Cup win? How much confidence will that give the team going to the Caribbean and England?
I imagine it will. I mean, winning games of cricket is winning games of cricket. Doesn't matter what format it is. Success just breeds more success, so I think they'll be very confident going over.
And what about the Windies cricket? It seems like it's in the doldrums again. They've got, they're really hit and miss. What can we expect from them over there?
Well, they've obviously got some fantastic players. The West Indies can always be a surprise packet, and when they play their best cricket, they are very hard to beat, it seems. I've never played against them myself, but it seems that way.
You've been there, though?
I have, yes. Yeah, it's a wonderful place to tour. And it was fantastic being a part of the squad that won the Frank Worrell Trophy last time.
And even though you didn't play, you half know what to expect if something happened over there. And Brad, we talked before, he might be getting close to late 30s. You can play at any time.
Well, I mean, I've got to prepare to play. I'm there as Brad's backup. If he gets injured, I'll be playing, so I need to prepare to play. But obviously do whatever I can on and off the field, whatever capacity that may be to help the guys have success.
How strong is Aussie cricket at the moment? We've won the One-Day World Cup, but in Test matches we're not number one. But the squad we've picked is a fair 17, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks to be a wonderful squad. And Australia's had a lot of success recently in Test cricket, so I'm sure they'll be looking to continue that form on.
And just talking a little bit about the Ashes, England had the wood on us, won 4 or 5, I think, Ashes series from memory, and then all of a sudden they just fell by the wayside. What sort of a challenge do you think they'll be for us this year?
I mean, they'll definitely be looking to hit back after, what was widely described as a disappointing World Cup. So their focus would turn entirely to Test cricket. I think they're in the West Indies next, but they'll definitely have an eye on the Ashes, and it's a series that all the best players always get themselves up for. So I'm sure they'll be very difficult to beat.
What's it like? What's the feeling like to think you're going on an Ashes tour?
You still have to pinch yourself a little bit, to be honest. I suppose it's the marquee series, isn't it? And to know that you're going to be a part of that is very exciting. I mean, it's still a number of months away, but I'm already very excited about it.
Before Rod Marsh called you yesterday, what did you have planned for the winter?
Nothing. I was just going to. I've started doing a bit of physical preparation. I was hopeful of getting picked on something, whether that was going to be these Test tours or the Australia A tour in July. So I was just focusing on getting myself in good nick and doing plenty of work on my game, trying to improve.
You must be pretty happy for a couple of your Blues teammates as well. Josh Hazlewood seems to have got himself a niche in the team, and Mitch Starc's gone to another level. And you would see them firsthand keeping behind the stumps. So how good bowlers are they, can they be, and how happy are you for them?
Oh, they're fantastic bowlers, both of them. and they've done a fantastic job for New South Wales over the years. And I've been enjoying not having to face them in the nets actually for the last season. So it's wonderful to have them in the Australian setup, and it's great to see them doing so well.